So let's continue. Let's continue. Hello.
Hello.
What
Hey,
does
Bobby.
hello? Shall I address this? I'm gonna start off by asking the same question.
Okay.
What does music mean to you?
For me, it's a spontaneous expression of soul that I actually can't not do. Like, I would probably die if I had to stop playing music. I would rather lose like any sense except for the feeling and the hearing. If I had to lose something, like music would be the thing I would hold onto the most, because it's just exploding from my heart. I hear everything in music, and how we began is actually from coming together as people who we just loved to play together and to improvise. Everything that you've experienced comes and sits in your heart as emotion and sits in your mind as ideas that become lyrics maybe, but and then you draw on this well for the music that comes out. So a lot of what we're writing is actually us sitting around and just creating what we feel, and then like writing down what we improvised and so on.
Yeah. So
Just as it arises.
okay. Do you consider your concerts being concerts in that kind of meaning?
I think we always feel the best based on the level of connection with the other people in the room. And sometimes I won't even want to say the word audience. When it feels like it's a co-creative sharing experience, and we're all singing together and dancing together and feeding each other with energy. Like if you're just have this attitude that you're just like giving, or you're just doing something that you're putting out there, it's kind of draining, but there's the cycle that gets created. And that's the real good juice, and that's where music started. It was co-creative. I mean, as civilization evolved and humanity evolved with people singing together and coming together and unifying. So
Long before microphones.
long before microphones.
We were sitting around the fire.
So
Exactly.
it doesn't matter if we didn't play a song the way we practiced it or something, but if the energy was amazing and people were dancing, and afterwards people laughed and cried and singed along, then it was like, okay, it's a success.
Yeah, we're actually like our favorite thing to do often is sometimes it happens that the vibe is right, that we can actually step past the microphones and bring the people close and sit on the edge of the stage and just play together acoustic and sing something and like share that moment together and remove this barrier. Because we started out playing around fires and all of us just jamming in the streets and so on, and felt this magic of a circle that's created. So, we're guiding it, and sure, we craft compositions, but we're trying to find the unifying element that someone can join or can like release something, or like really like let go and join the party, really, and feel the wings lift up. Yeah.
It's also like being like the audience that be your mirror, but you're also the mirror to the audience, and you kind of bouncing off each other then.
People thank me like, thanks for the music, and I say, hey, thank you. That's our co-creation. Like, we couldn't have done it without you. Not like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to go through each individual and ask you, what is something that you achieved musically or just in life that you're really, really proud of? The spontaneous moments of improvisation where you're just all locked in, when you can co-create a space and you get beyond the ego, you get beyond all these thoughts that you might be having, and you're just locked in with the music, and everybody's playing, and there's something about all the pieces of the puzzle coming together into one spot right there, and it's like, bam, that's the moment, and those moments are priceless. So whenever that happens, I'm just overjoyed, and the ability to access that is what a treasure.
I set out on the road at age 18 knowing that there was something for me in the world, and it was not this university and this doctor my parents wanted me to be and all of this stuff that I could have done. it was like something calling my soul, and I knew it's there, and I knew it won't always be easy, but I'm going to find it, and I'm going to follow my heart fiercely. And I did that. And I thought I'm going to turn back, and I never turned back yet. And it's 10 years almost. So it's always juggling in this lifestyle, you know, you're always juggling and just making it work somehow. But time and time again, it comes back. My heart is full, and I'm actually rich, even though I have no money in the bank. I'm actually rich because what I set out to do and follow my heart, that I'm still on that path. So I would say that's what I'm proud of.
You know what a trust fund is?
Trust mom.
A trust fund.
Trust fund.
It's like when it's when a child inherits a lot of money and they never have to worry in their life. So, but we play with that concept, and I have like this other idea of a trust fund, which is like that we just trust. We don't have a massive inheritance, but we trust that things are going to work out, and they have. And I think my story is probably similar to actually both of what you guys spoke, and I'm proud of those connected moments when, especially when everyone's singing together and it just feels totally unified, because Earth is so scattered and isolated. There's so many people, but there's so much isolation, even though we have these technologies. When we actually come together and people sing together and play, that's, I think, the way forward to a better way as humans. And then also, in my own personal journey, like, we have a song called Leap of Faith, and it speaks, I think, to a lot of us taking that leap into something that we were probably very unprepared for, and I still feel fairly unprepared for. Like when I originally got this vision to call Daniel and our other friend Henry and say, we're going to start this band and we're going to meet other people on the way, and we're going to go play the main stage at Luminate. Well, we had no official band name. We had no songs. I had never played a gig in my life. I'd never sang into a microphone. I was absolutely terrified. I was like, well, let's just go do it. Like, I think we're going to play on the main stage at Luminate, which was our festival where me and Daniel had met 8 years ago. And we asked our friends, can you get us a show there? And they're like, well, you kind of need to have like an actual band, maybe a website, and some songs. So maybe I could get you a gig. We're like, okay, well, forget it. And then a week before the festival, we went anyway and to New Zealand. And a week before the festival, the people who were running the main stage heard me and Henry jamming, and they're like, do you want to play on the main stage? And we're like, oh yeah, we totally do. And so we called Daniel. We're like, we got a gig. And then basically,
but we need a name.
We settled on the name that had been floating around for a while. And then we met Vojta 2 nights before the show, and he barely spoke English. And we're like, can you play with us? We're like, at that time, all of our songs were in the key of D. So we're like, can you play in the key of D? He's like, oh yeah, D's easy. And we're like, sweet. So we had like one jam together, and then we played, and then, it all kind of came together. So it was just taking that leap, and I was absolutely terrified for the first. Well, I think I'm still terrified, but we're just doing it anyway.
Oh, this is so good. Yeah. Also, another question that I wanted to ask is like, I feel like your band name is so perfectly describing what you do.
It's funny because the name came from a photo. There's a photo of Daniel in a jam like 9 years ago, and he's in the back of this bus, and he's like a 18-year-old kid, and there's a woman in the photo. It's a black and white photo. It's beautiful, and she's like doing one of these, and he's like, that's the Mad Hallelujah. Like, it's a description. It's like this moment that happens in music is the Mad Hallelujah. And
it's in the back of a box truck in New Zealand.
Yeah.
It was like a 3 a.m. jam in the back of a box truck.
So great. Yeah. And I think we always just figured that there would be this thing called the Mad Hallelujah, but we never explicitly talked about it.
I actually registered madhallelujah.com like 5 years before, and I never knew what it was supposed to be. I just been paying that domain name the whole time, thinking it's gonna be something. It's a good name for something.
And then the tribe just came, and that made sense because people have come and gone, and it is tribal in that sense. But then when we went to play our show, for some reason we couldn't decide whether to call ourselves that. I think we were like a little bit like, we thought, oh, maybe this name will like put people off or something. But then eventually we just went with it. So I guess that's also the moment we're going for, is like that mad, wild hallelujah, like sing, dance, and celebrate experience.
Yeah.
That's the highest.
Hallelujah means essentially to invite to praise, right?
Yeah.
So it's not, for us, it's not like a sectarian thing. It's not, doesn't have to do with a church. You know, it's like a universal moment of like when the music takes you and you just can't help it. You just can't help it. And you gotta just go for it. You know? So we're creating a musical invitation. And then Hallelujah can sound so like holy, celestial, airy, and the mad is like, yeah, let's get crazy with it. Let's be ridiculous. And that's also kind of who we are as a group, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we do ridiculous things and
Like
we're a bit chaotic.
Yeah.
And just wanna really it keeps a balance, you know? The down and dirty, the high and the holy.
Yeah, it is a good name for the sound, you know. Like reading the name, if you have a little imagination, it's exactly what you get.
And if you don't, you're concerned we're going to bring you in our cult.
Oh yeah, yeah, but that's what
Some
he
people
said.
are a little afraid.
It might
We're going to bring them in our
turn
cult.
people off also a little, some
okay.
skeptical people, but that's okay.
It's okay, they can join.
Yeah. If you could be an animal for one day, which animal would you be and why?
Is a dragon counted as an animal?
Yeah.
It's my guardian, someone who guides me through my life and like also protecting me.
Oh, have it on your shirt as well.
Look at that.
Oh,
Hey, you have two of like like 8 of them. You're really safe.
yeah, and the dragon is a really funny guy. So
Great.
Yeah, I feel most connected to the lion because I believe that cats and the big cats are always walking between worlds, and they're always in this very in tune, psychedelic, awake state.
I'm going to have to quote my song. Remember how it feels to be the hawk upon the wind. I am free, free. So on.
There we go.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would be a whale.
Not a bass?
Not a bass. I would be a whale. I would love to plunge into the mystery and their super amazing frequencies that they're communicating with.
Right?
It's so beyond me, and I'm so curious to go into the depths. and travel
Subsonic.
so many distances. I don't know if any other animals travel as far as whales do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Toning the earth's waters.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Yeah. Creating a tonal harmonic field through all of the oceans.
Because your approach to music is so different than most bands in the music industry. What are your thoughts on the music industry?
I don't know much about what actually goes on because we just do everything ourselves. I think there's some really beautiful music being made, and it's very catchy and fun. I don't think it has to be mutually exclusive. I don't think that you can only make good music or spirited music if you're independent. But yeah, I don't know. Our experience is doing everything ourselves, creating our own albums, producing our own albums, and that's not to say that I wouldn't love to just, have a nice big budget to spend like a solid month in a really nice studio with these guys and just,
Jam for a month and then having some post-production people that
Wow.
of all the material creating something.
Like these
So,
guys like the Beatles or Radiohead or these bands get to do, where they just like, here's this like huge house and here's like all these crazy instruments, like have at it. I would love that experience. It would
It's so good.
so
I
great.
think that the music industry can be a good thing because it can really get you out there. It can broadcast you, but the thing that I've noticed with so many bands is that it's all consuming, and then they end up burning out. Or so many bands have gone into the music industry and then they kind of lose themselves in it, and that's kind of something to be aware of. So
because they won't be famous.
kind of have a relationship with it. Have a relationship where you have a good moment with the music industry, but don't go entirely in. It'd be amazing to be able to use it and not sell out.
I would like to speak to that a little bit because I sense that, well, I turn on the radio and I just can't stand it because it's formulaic. That's the thing, is that there is a formula. The formula is known. 2 guys write the majority of top 40 hits. And yeah, and then everyone likes it because it's familiar, you know? So what we would like to do, while we would like to have a greater reach, and we're really open to working with the right people to help us to reach more people, what we're actually doing is creating something from the roots that we're going to stay authentic to. And it's something that people are drawn to because it's, in some ways, it's the opposite of the old world establishment that is dying away. It really is. And the roots are coming up. And that's because what we're doing came from authentic moments. It arises from authenticity, from a real moment that happened, from real inspiration and real emotion. And then we're forming that into song and music. And, we may polish that. And as we go forward, we'll be polishing those things more and more. But it comes from that place. And so people are drawn to that because it's real. Like, there's a real music revolution happening, and we're a part of that. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
It can be challenging, though, to do it all ourselves. So.
Yeah, but you'll have fellow artists to join on.
Absolutely, and that's happening
because,
more and more.
These thoughts that you just said, many people have these thoughts, and
yes.
and even the usual. Like people that are not that much into music, they start noticing that it's the same thing over and over again. So they might not care for some years, but like after 20 years of listening to the same song, even if you're not into music, you think like, hey, what the fuck? What's going on? Yeah, so I guess
those 4 chords, man. And they're there. They're in our music if you dig for them. But it's because they're also real. We're not afraid of the cliche because it's a cliche, but it's like what's real, you know?
Yeah. You can
We're gonna create that
in one chord. You can
exactly.
song in one chord.
Yeah, true.
So thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to these shows tonight. I'm gonna be dancing a lot.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey.
Oh wow.
Thanks, man.
That's it.
Really nice.
Nice. Thanks for